Okay, Bill White, thank you very much, and good evening once again, everybody. 63 degrees here in Cleveland. This time of year, very, very good baseball weather. Horace Clarke against the right-hander Tidrow. Here's the first pitch. Low, and this game is underway. Clarke batting .264 on the season. He's been up 87 times with 23 base hits, second high on the ball club. Fosse has also worked his way on 7 times via the base on balls. He takes high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Dick Tidrow, as Bill White told you, 24-year-old, big husky youngster from out in the Golden Gate state of California. He was just 24. Rock looks at the strike. Let's see, today is the 17th. He was 24 years old on Sunday.
You know, Frank, I can see where this big fellow would be tough on right-handed hitters. He comes anywhere from 3/4 to sidearm. And being as big as he is, I'm sure that might intimidate some right-handed hitters.
All right, he's ready to work again. Rocks, kicks, and deals. Fastball is fouled back, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's almost a right-hand Sam McDowell for size. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He broke into baseball in Reno in 1967, gotten only 7 ball games. Then he went to Rock Hill, South Carolina. First time we've seen him, he delivers again, and Clarke gets a fly ball in the straightaway center field. Del Unser drifts back. He's under it, glove up, and he makes the catch to retire Clarke. There's 1 away. And now Johnny Callison will step in, batting .235. Yankees have the left-hand lineup in there.
You know, Frank, looking at this guy's record last year at Wichita, he won 8 games and lost 6, and his ERA was 4.1. Most importantly, he gave up 133 hits in 124 innings. So if you look at his minor league record, you wonder why he's doing so well in the major leagues. So somewhere along the way, he's learned how to pitch.
All right, and his first pitch to Callison, high and away. Got a pretty good guy to learn from right here in Warren Spahn.
Mm-hmm.
He was the pitching coach for the Cleveland Indians.
Crafty
Warren.
rascal.
Crafty?
Crafty rascal, that's Spahn.
Greatest left-hander, I guess, that ever pitched.
There's one over there, Herb Score, in the other booth for the Indians broadcasting here, too. He wasn't too bad.
Unfortunately, his career was cut short when he was hit by the line drive. Pitch is down low this time to Callison, 2 balls and no strikes. Yankees won last night's game 3-1. And the next pitch coming. Callison pops it up on the infield. Coming in from third base, Graig Nettles near the mound, and he makes the catch. Callison pops to Nettles, and there are 2 down. The batter will be Bobby Murcer, the Yankee center fielder. Murcer had a base hit in last night's ball game after having gone 0 for 22 and only 2 for 34. It was sort of a dying quail single out into center field, but it started the Yankees' 3-run rally. That won the game for them, 3-1. Bobby overall is batting .184. The first pitch to him. Hit high and deep down the right field line. This one is way back. It is going. It is way out of here. Home run for Bobby Murcer deep into the seats in right field to put the Yankees out in front 1-0. And for Bobby, that is home run number 3. The Yankees lead 1-0 on the Murcer home run. And he salutes Roy White as he crosses the plate. Just a little wave there to Roy, then the handshake, and on down to the dugout where skipper Ralph Houck is one of the first to greet him. And who's going to benefit from that homer, Bill?
Well, Frank, it'll be the Colonial Park Houses Tenant Association, 19544 Harlem River Drive in New York. 9 baseball gloves from AFCO.
All right, Roy White steps in now. Takes a fastball outside. Roy is batting .213. Roy leads the club in bases on balls. He has walked 13 times. Strike call. Although he's had just 1 hit in his last 17 at-bats. Roy has reached 7 times, 6 times on walks. Very eerie effect here now. We'll tell you about in a minute. Next pitch. Going outside. A fog bank has just very suddenly moved in off the lake, and it is beginning to swirl around the stadium right now. Not nearly dense enough to cause any delay in this ball game, but it gives a rather weird effect. Next pitch. strike. He came a little bit off on that one, and Roy was out in front with his hitch, or rather with his, as he started to swing, not a hitch, but he held off of it, and it's a strike, 2-2. Arms high. Tidrow kicks and deals. White takes low and away for a full count.
This kid's going to have a lot of trouble with left-handed hitters. He doesn't seem to have a pitch for a left-handed hitter. When you come three-quarters, you're always coming to the left-hander. And you can't turn the ball over and get it to go down away from it. And I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with left-handed hitters.
All right, he kicks and deals again, and a check swing, ball 4. They thought they had White struck out, but he checked his swing, says plate umpire Don Denkinger. And Roy White trots down to first base. He's got another walk. That's number 14 for the year, and his 8th on base in his last 18 at-bats. Aspromonte is arguing, carrying his argument to the third base umpire, Jim Oden, who would be the one to make the call if Denkinger were not sure about it. So White is on with a walk. And with 2 outs, the batter will be Ron Blomberg. Ronnie had a base hit last night, a very important double. Drove in the Yankees' first run and set up the winning run. They shade him around to the right side, throw to first base, and Roy White gets back. Blomberg is hitting an even .300, 12 for 40. 4 doubles, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. There goes White. Pitch is swung on and missed, and no throw to second base. Fosse held up on the throw as Roy White steals second, and Roy is 5 for 5.
Blomberg helped out there just a bit by getting his left shoulder over the plate just a little, and Fosse couldn't throw over him.
Bloomer swung on the pitch to protect the runner. Next pitch to him. Ground ball hit down the first base line. Up with it is McCraw, the first baseman. Outraces Blomberg to the bag, and the side is retired. But the Yankees break on top with 1 run on Bobby Murcer's homer. There was a man left, and at the end of the top half of the first inning, the score. The Yankees won, and the Indians coming to bat.
At the Getty Oil Company, we sell premium gasoline for a few cents less per gallon than most other major premiums. So you get extra gas for your money. In fact, if you drive around 12,000 miles a year and you use Getty Premium, you'll get enough extra gas to get you from New York across Delaware.
What's that thing with the spots, Dad?
That's a cow, son. Down through Charleston, South Carolina.
Look at all the spots on that cow, Dad.
That's a horse, son. And into the Sunshine State, Florida. A total of about 1,000 extra miles.
Come on, Dad. Last name's the pig's uncle.
That's a monkey, son. Getty, the company that gives you more gas for your money, so you get more miles for your money.
Well, the Yankees return home Friday night against the Red Sox. Boston will be in for an afternoon game on Sunday, and they'll play on Saturday, and then they'll play 2 starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Then the first place Cleveland Indians come in for 3 games. A night game Tuesday and a night game Wednesday, an afternoon game on Thursday. And then that tough Billy Martin and his Detroit Tigers come in. Detroit right now in second place in the American League East. They'll be in for a weekend series, a Friday night game, a Saturday afternoon game, which is also ball day, a Sunday afternoon game, and then they'll play 2 on the 29th of May. So you can pick up tickets for that big week of baseball coming up at Yankee Stadium. All right, Frank.
Del Unser leads things off for Cleveland. He's batting .226, a left-hand hitter. He went 1 for 3 last night. Unser's father is a scout for the Indians. He swings on the first one, fouls it back upstairs. Some time ago, I came across a book of ball players on a Buffalo team of many, many years ago. And Del Unser's father was one of them. I gave him the book last year, and he was happy to have it. Next pitch to him. Line foul between the third base coach, Bobby Hoffman, and the bag. man down there in the box seat with a long, long stretch, and the help of a buddy finally got to that foul ball. Crowd reacting. Yankees leading 1-0. There's the windup by Kline, and the pitch is low. Steve Kline is making his 6th start. He's worked 35 innings, allowed 34 hits, walked 7, struck out 10, has an ERA of 2.57. 1-2 and lost 1. Young right-hander delivers again, and pitch is hit on the ground to third to his right. McKinney is up with it, throws over to first base. That's all for Unser. And Bill Hoy, we have to say Rich McKinney has been a double surprise. His fielding, I think, has been much better than everybody thought, and his hitting has not been quite as good as everybody thought it would be.
You know, I think Rich really in the field has only had the one bad ball game in Boston where he made the 4 errors, and a couple of balls have slipped through him, a couple of top balls that either he or Gene Michael could have gotten, and those are the only bad days that I think McKinney's had.
Right, other than that game of the 4 errors, I believe he's only had one more. Eddie Leon steps in, a right-hand hitter. Leon is hitting 195. McKinney has not had an error since that 4-error game. Prior to that, he had 1, so he's had only 5 all year, and only 1 other than that 1-ball game that he'd like to forget about. Kline's next pitch. Hit right back to the pitcher. Kline has it on one hop. The throw to first base, and that is all for Eddie Leon. 2 down. It brings up the left fielder, Alex Johnson. Johnson was held hitless in 3 trips last night. Johnson, batting .261, leads the Indians in home runs with 4 and in runs batted in with 16. And Kline's first pitch to Johnson, swung on and missed, strike 1. Rather surprising to me to see that the Indians have won only 2 while losing 5 games against left-hand pitching. And that despite Alex Johnson and Ray Fosse and Buddy Bell, strong right-hand hitters. This pitch is now down into right field. It's going to be into the base hit and probably for more. Johnson around first base, goes for second as Callison chases the ball down. And Johnson coasts into second base with a double. Little bleeder out into shallow right field, just down the line. It brings up the third baseman, Graig Nettles. The Indians against right-hand pitching have won 12 and lost 4, but 2 and 5 against left-handers. Throw back to second base. He's safe. Michael thought he had him. Gene Michael hustling in behind Alex Johnson, and Johnson had to dive back to the bag. The Yankees had the pickoff play on. Michael is playing behind Johnson as he shades around to the right side on the left-hand hitting Nettles. Here's the pitch. Blowing inside, ball 1. Graig Nettles was 1 for 4 last night. He is batting but .226. Nettles got somebody to push him for that job there at third base, too. Buddy Bell is a very good third baseman. The fog is getting thicker, and if it gets a lot heavier, it could have an influence on this ballgame.
You can hardly see Callison out there right field.
That's right. Kline hides the ball behind the right hip. Now comes set, and here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball left side, and that one is off the glove. McKinney out through the left field base hit. Here comes Johnson in to score, and the Cleveland Indians have tied it up. On 2 opposite field hits, Johnson, a right-hand hitter, warping one into right field, and Nettles getting one off the end of the bat in the hole between McKinney and Gene Michael, as McKinney slowed the ball down with a gloved hand. And it's a 1-1 ball game. For Graig Nettles, only his 5th run batted in of the year on his 20th base hit. Two outs, a runner at first, and here's Tom McCraw. Left-hand hitting first baseman takes low and outside, ball 1. McCraw's hitting .347. He has been doing a job this first month of the season. Certainly. Stretch by Kline. Check of first and the pitch. Checked his swing and took a strike, 1-1. I have to think, Bill, the way the wind is drifting that fog, it's going to be a little tougher to see in right field than it is in left, or is it just my angle?
No, I think you're right. It's going to be tough for Callison looking up into the sky there.
1 ball, 1 strike pitch. False start by Nettles at first. He comes back and the pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike. Score tied 1-1. Minnesota beats Chicago, I see on the scoreboard, 8-1. And Cincinnati beats San Francisco in the National League by a score of 2-1. Here's the pitch. Strike call.
I think Munson stole that strike. He saw that McCraw was going to take it, so he went out over the plate and just pulled it in there. Del Crandall used to do that all the time. It's, catchers can get away with quite a bit that way if they have quick hands.
All right, the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kline ready to work. And here's the pitch. Low ball, 3 and a full count. So the first base coach, Joe Lutz, reminds Graig Nettles there are 2 outs, 3 and 2 pitch coming, and he should be running. Bobby Hoffman coaches at third base for the Cleveland Indians. Kline hides the ball from the hitter, brings the hands together. There goes Unser. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. And the count rise. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Minnesota Twins assuring themselves of staying atop the American League's Western Division with that 8-1 win over Chicago. Chicago was creeping up, but now they're dropped 2.5 games back in third place. Oakland is second, currently a game back, pending the outcome of their ball game tonight in Anaheim. There goes the runner. The pitch is cut on a high chopper. First base side of the mound. Kline has it, throws over the head of McCraw in time, and the side is retired. The Cleveland Indians, though, tied up with a run on 2 base hits. There were no errors and a man is left. At the end of 1, the score, Yankees won and the Indians won.
Avco Financial Services says we believe in people, and that includes little people who'd like to grow up and become Yankees. To help them get started, Avco Financial Services is giving away free Wilson baseball gloves to recognize New York youth groups on every Yankee home run hit. If your youth group or boys club would like to enter the Avco drawing for 9 baseball gloves, send a postcard to Avco Gloves for Kids, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, and include your club's name, address, and telephone number. Then stay tuned for the home run that may send baseball gloves your way, courtesy of Avco Financial Services. You know how a team comes up with a big inning and suddenly it's a new ball game? Well, Carte Blanche has turned the credit card business into a brand new card game by putting helpful people between you and their computer, people who can answer your questions and get back to you when you have a problem. Not in weeks or months, but in days. Now, that's what I call a real team of pros. Pick up an application soon, wherever you see the Carte Blanche welcome sign. You get services that matter from people who care. Carte Blanche, a subsidiary of Avco. Well, looking at the scores that Frank Messer's already given you, Minnesota beat Chicago 8-1. Blyleven was the winner. He's won 5 and lost 2. Bradley the loser. He's won 4 and lost 2. Harmon Killebrew got his 4th home run in the first inning with 1 on as the Twins beat the White Sox 8-1. The other ball game, Cincinnati beat San Francisco 2-1. The loser, Juan Marichal, his 7th loss. He's won 1. The winner, Grimsley, who just got called up from Indianapolis. He's won 2 and lost none. Joe Morgan hit his 5th home run. And Jim Hart picked up his first for the San Francisco club. So Cincinnati 2, San Francisco 1. Marichal lost number 7.
Jim Hart was just called up about a week ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was just called up by the Giants.
All right, here we go. Thurman Munson leads off the second. He went 1 for 4 last night. Leads the Yankees in base hits. Takes a fastball for ball 1 outside. Munson hitting .325, has 25 hits on the year. He has also walked 12 times. The next pitch. Fastball is inside at the hands. Ball 2.
You know, Marichal's last loss was a 1-0 to the Mets, wasn't it? So he hadn't been getting too many runs. He's only gotten 1 run his last 2 starts.
He and Fritz Peterson ought to get together.
No, they ought to get us the hitters again.
Fritz hasn't had a whole lot of runs to work with this year. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, broken bat, liner, and it's past the glove of the shortstop. Leon on into center field. Thurman Munson lost a bat, but he got a base hit. Had it right down on the handle, and a soft line drive just past the diving Eddie Leon going to his left. So Munson has his 26th base hit. When you're hot, and when you're not, and that's certainly true. Rich McKinney now. McKinney drove in a run last night. His 5th RBI. He's batting but 179, however. Right-hand hitter, feet close, right down on the end of the bat, and the pitch to him. Strike one is called, knee high over the outside corner. Munson last night drove in what proved to be the deciding run in the ball game on a fielder's choice. He takes his lead against McCraw at first base. Tidrow kicks and deals, swing and a miss by McKinney. Dick Tidrow is making his first appearance ever against the Yankees. Young man from San Francisco. Tidrow won his last 2 starting assignments. This pitch is bounced high to third. Nettles will have to go to first base with it. He's out. Thurman Munson goes to second as Rich McKinney bounces out to the third baseman, Graig Nettles. 1 down, and Gene Michael will step in. Michael went 0 for 4 last night. He is hitting .235. If you hadn't looked recently, you might be surprised to know that Pat Kelly of the Chicago White Sox is the leading hitter in the American League with a .368 batting average. Ken Berry of the California Angels batting .358. Steve Braun of the Minnesota Twins .355. They're the top 3 men. Right here, the first pitch to Gene Michael, taken for a strike as Gene steps up there as a left-hand batter. Tom McCraw of the Cleveland Indians down there at first base is batting .347. Lou Piniella of Kansas City, .333. Vada Pinson of the Angels, .326. Thurman Munson now will move up into the elite group with his .325 plus. Pitch is taken outside. I think the league office may be doing Thurman an injustice because they did not have him listed among the leaders. They go down to a .317 average. Yeah, they do have him in there, too. I beg your pardon. Next pitch here to Michael. Taken for a strike 2 call, 1-2. Dick Hauser coaching at third base for the Yankees, and Elston Howard coaching at first. Gene Michael with 10 runs batted in, leading the Yankees in RBIs. Has a chance to drive in another one here. 1-2 pitch will be coming. Tidrow straddles the rubber, glaring back at Munson.
It's going to be easy driving a run, Frank. That infield, or the outfield is really in close for Michael.
1-2 pitch. There goes Munson. The pitch is taken outside for a ball and falls out of Fosse's mitt. Thurman Munson has stolen third. A steal of third for Munson, as for the second time, Fosse did not make a throw on a base runner. That time, he lost the ball out of his mitt. It was low and outside, and he had a clear shot to throw down there to third base, but he lost the ball out of the glove. That is Thurman Munson's third stolen base. But now he has a better chance of driving the run.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Now all it takes is a long fly ball or high bounces to the infield or a shot through the infield, because the Indians have their infield in now.
Munson is 3 for 5 in base 10. And Michael swings and misses on the next pitch, strike 3. So you'll have to wait another chance. First strikeout for Tidrow. And it'll bring up Stevie Kline. Kline has been up 13 times without a base hit. And the fog is much better right now, or a lot less of it here in the ballpark, but there's a lot of fog out there over the lake. This ballpark, in case you did not listen last night or watch on TV, is located right on the shores of Lake Erie. Klein, a right-hand batter, pitch to him, taken inside, ball one. Home run leaders in the American League are Norm Cash of Detroit and Bobby Darwin of Minnesota. They each have 6. Dick Allen of the White Sox, Dave Duncan of the A's, and Reggie Jackson of Oakland have 5 apiece. Wind up here by Tidrow, the pitch. A strike is called, and it's 1-1. Bobby Darwin of the Twins leads the league in RBIs with at least 21. I don't know what he did in the ball game today. Allen and Freehan have 19 each. Look over to third base, the windup, and the 1-1 pitch here to Klein. Steve swings and misses on a fastball, strike 2. Bill Russell of the Dodgers leads the National League hitters. He's batting .397. Joe Torre of the Cardinals, .396. Stennett of the Pirates, .382. Bobby Tolan of Cincinnati, .375, and Rick Mundy of the Cubs, .375. Never on front of the plate. Out there in a flash is Fosse up with it, throws on to first base, and the side is retired. For the Yankees, no runs, a base hit. There were no errors, and 1 man is left on. At the end of the top half of the second inning, the score, Yankees 1 and the Indians 1.
Something to have when you're having more than one. Sugar, flavor, doesn't fade even when you first have gone.
You can't tell much about a beer in the first glass. When you're thirsty, just about any cold beer tastes good. It's in the second glass and the third that you'll learn whether your beer has that special quality that separates it from all the others. Schaefer beer's got it, and brother, you've got it coming. Flavor that never fades, first frosty glass to last. That's why Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
On Friday night, the 19th, the Boston Red Sox of Eddie Casco will be in town. They'll also play Saturday and a doubleheader on Sunday. The Yankees take Monday off, but then Kenny Aspromani will bring his Cleveland Indians in for a big 3-game set with the Yankees. And then when Aspromani leaves, another young manager, Billy Martin, will bring his crew in. They'll play a Friday night game on the 26th of May. Ball day on the 27th, a Saturday afternoon ball game, which will start at 2 o'clock. And then a single game Sunday. And the Tigers will play 2 on Monday, the 29th of May. The Yankees will be trying to claw the Tigers.
Hey, Billy Martin just had a birthday, I think, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was Billy's birthday, if I'm not greatly mistaken. 44.
That's young.
Sure it is. Very young. Ray Fosse, 0 for 4 in last night's game. Leads off the bottom half of the second inning. Fosse is hitting .289. Steve Kline looks in again for the side. Rocks, kicks, and delivers. Cut on. Ground ball slowly hit toward third. McKinney charges one-hand pickup throw to first base. He's out. McKinney had to turn the ball quickly that time as it was hit slowly, and he was playing fairly deep. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
You are listening to Radio 81, WGY, a General Electric broadcasting station in Schenectady, New York.
Now the batter is Buddy Bell, right-hand hitting outfielder. Hitting .267, swings on the first pitch, off the fist, pops it up behind second. Clarke waving Murcer away, and Clarke makes the catch out in shallow center. So Bell, first ball hitting, pops up behind second. 2 down, and we'll take a look at Jack Brohamer. Brohamer went 0 for 3 last night. He's a switch hitter and much prefers to hit left-handed, as he is right now. Brohamer batting .306. The pitch to him, taken high, ball 1. Brohamer hitting .318 as a left-hand hitter, .278 as a right-hand hitter. Takes outside, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Ball game tied 1-1 here in the bottom half of the second. Murcer homered for the Yankee run in the top of the first. Johnson double, Nettles single for the Indians run in the bottom half of the first. Ruby young people here tonight, college-age guys and gals, making a lot of noise. Pitches down low, ball 3. They came in a group, counting cadence as they came into the ballpark. They're out here having one heck of a time. I'm sure you can hear them. 3-0 pitch. Here it comes. Strike call. Brohamer started to break the first. Don Denkinger says, hold on. The windup by Kline and the pitch. Brohamer swings, hits it sharply to the right side. Clarke over to the glove side, throws, he's out at first base. Clarke going deep to his left to throw out Brohamer. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 2, the score, Yankees 1 and the Tribe 1.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
Yeah. I'd like to order one of them 72s.
Okay, fine. Let's go over the options. Do you want air conditioning?
Of course.
Power steering?
Sure.
AM radio?
AM, FM, stereo radio. With a tape deck, huh?
Would you like...
Yeah, give it to me. By the way, how many miles per gallon can I expect?
Well, if you do a lot of highway driving, not too much stop and go, 7.
Power options are terrific, but they have their price. They rob you of mileage. Well, Getty has a way to make up some of those lost miles. Getty sells only premium for a few cents less per gallon than most other major premiums. So you get more gas for your money, which means you get more miles for your money. And that's nice to have, whether you have a car full of accessories or not. Well, maybe I don't need the power sun visors.
They really miss McCulley, don't they, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Horace Clarke leads off here, top half of the third inning. Tidrow's pitch to him. Horace looks at it, and a strike is called. Clarke flied to center his first time up. The Yankees have 2 hits in the game. Murcer homered in the first inning. Munson singled in the second. Next pitch coming. Strike 2 called, had him pulled, nipped the outside corner. Johnny Callison on deck, then Murcer here in the top half of the third. 1-1 ball game. Tidrow brings it. Clarke swings, nubs it back, just past the pitcher. They're going to have to hurry. Up with it is the second baseman, Brohamer. He drops it, and Clarke is safe. It's a base hit. Once that ball got by the pitcher, Tidrow, it had base hit on it, unless Brohamer handled it very, very quickly. He realized that, tried to make a bare hand pickup, and throw in the same motion. Couldn't handle the ball, and it is a base hit for Clarke.
Well, Frank, the Yankees have been doing a lot of running on this big fella, Tidrow, just as they did a lot of running on Hargan. They take so much time. Seems the bigger guys, the 6'4", 6'5" guys, evidently it takes them a lot of time to uncoil. And how being an excellent manager realizes, he just lets the guys go on their own.
All right, Horace Clarke usually is on his own on the bases, and we'll see what he does here. Clarke has stolen 2 bases this year. Pitch to Callison is taken high and away, ball 1. Clarke has stolen 2 out of 4 attempts. And as you've heard Bill and Phil and me say, it's a little easier to get that jump when you have a left-hand hitter up there because the catcher is blocked off that base runner. Clarke's got a big lead. Throw over there. He dives back. He's safe. Big Ron Luciano reaches out there just like a big bear getting ready to jump on somebody with the palms down to give the safe side. Quick throw over there. Clarke is back again, head first. Ron and I had quite a long discussion about baseball the other night. I happened to bump into him in a restaurant here in Cleveland. You know, the ball players admire Luciano's hustle on the ball field, and when they talk about the up-and-coming umpires, he's one of the first ones they mention among the young ones. Another throw to first again. Clarke is back. I think that's quite a compliment for a ball player to say something nice about an umpire, especially a young umpire.
An umpire is just like a baseball player. If an umpire hustles, it's obvious to them. And a lot of them, you can get away with making a lot of wrong decisions if you're hustling on the play.
All right, now the pitch to Callison. Cut on and bounce foul outside the first baseline.
Talking about that Frank hustling umpire, one of the most hustling umpires I'd ever seen was Shag Crawford in our league, in the National League. In the first year he came in, Shag would hustle on everything. I remember one time he was trying to get so close to second base to call a play that the throw from the catcher hit him. We would have had the runner out. Nobody said a word to Shag because we knew that he was hustling to get the best position possible, and he got away with it. Any other umpire, you climb all over him.
That's the ball to strike to Callison. Another throw to first. Clarke gets back, standing up this time. Well, shortens up his lead just a bit. Pitch to Callison. He does not go. It's taken outside. Half swing. Checked in time, says the plate umpire, Denkinger. And now Fosse's going to go out to the mound, probably to tell the young pitcher, Dick Tidrow, not to worry too much about the base runner at first base, that he loses the hitter. You worry about him too much, he's going to be down there at second base anyway, and this guy's going to be on first. You're going to be worse off.
Or the ball might be in the right field seats.
Callison certainly has the power to do it. John has hit only one home run this year, but he is strong. Clarke does not go, and the pitch is inside, gets through to the backstop, and that will send Clarke down to second. A wild pitch is charged. That ball got to the backstop and bounced up into the seats. And a wild pitch is charged, and that will bring the shortstop, Eddie Leon, into the mound. Probably saying the same thing Fosse did. Fosse's words didn't have too much effect. Count is 3-1 on Callison. Clarke now at second, and there's nobody out. Score tied 1-1 here in the top half of the third inning. The set by Tidrow, and here's his pitch. Swung on and driven deep to center field. Back goes Unser. Clarke is tagged. Unser makes the catch. Here comes Clarke racing on to third base. In standing up, no play. So the wild pitch now has become even more costly because the Yankees have the runner at third with only one out. And Bobby Murcer coming up. Murcer homered his first trip. Bobby left-hand hitter. Score tied 1-1. Mercer's homer in the first. Johnson's double and Nettles single in the bottom half of the inning for the Cleveland run. Now Clarke at third, the infield in on the left side, in better than halfway on the right. Tidrow straddles the rubber. Now Murcer steps out. The outfield shades Bobby a bit to the right side as Bell in right comes toward the line, Unser in center toward the gap, and the left fielder Alex Johnson toward left center. First pitch to Murcer. Swung on. No, he takes it. The throw to third base. He started to swing, took the pitch, throw to third base, and Clarke got back. It was a strike. Murcer started to go and then decided not to. And Fosse fired to third baseman Nettles. First time up, Murcer swung on the first pitch and drove it into the seats in right. Next pitch to him. Swung on and line caught by the shortstop Leon. Clarke gets back. A line drive right at Eddie Leon. That ball was well hit, but right at the shortstop. So Murcer is out. The batter will be Roy White with two down.
Can't hit a ball much harder than that. You know, once a ball leaves a bat, player can't do anything about it. That's why it's so frustrating. Now, last night, Bobby did not hit the ball well, looped it into center field for his first hit in 20-some trips, and started a 3-inning rally. Now, that ball was hit 100 times as hard, but simply right at the shortstop.
It's so hard, they had no chance to double Clarke at third. He had no chance to get away from the bag and start in. Here's Roy White. He takes low and inside, and Fosse blocks it on his knees.
Fosse's going to earn his money tonight. Not only catching, he's going to spend a lot of time out there talking to this young fella, too.
Tidrow in his first year in the major leagues. This is his 8th start. He has not pitched a complete game, even though he has won 3 and lost 2, has an ERA of 3.24. The home run by Murcer III he has given up. White takes a strike, and the count is evened up at 1-1. Score tied here, 1-1. Bell, the right fielder, plays White even closer to the line and toward the corner than he did Murcer. Johnson does not shade as far toward center, and Unser does not come as far in the gap, but Bell is way over toward the corner in right field. The 1-1 pitch. Taken high. Breaking pitch. 2-1. Yes, sir. The Yankees winding up the long road trip with this ball game. Will be climbing on their charter, flying back in right after the game tonight. Get reacquainted with the family tomorrow on a day off. And then take on the Boston Red Sox Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and a doubleheader Sunday. 2-1 pitch coming here to Roy White now. Swung on, popped up down the left side. In pursuit, Graig Nettles. Also the shortstop, Leon, in foul territory. Nettles one-handed. He overran the ball and reached back and made the catch back over his shoulder. A good catch by Nettles after overrunning the ball in foul territory. And for the Yankees, no runs, 1 base hit, there were no errors, and Clarke is stranded at third. At the end of 2.5, the score, the Yankees won and Cleveland won.
Time is money. Take a little time for that short drive up the Northway to Trice-Giron and save a lot of money. Trice-Giron Ford and Mercury. Not a stoplight on the Northway between the Capital District and Trice-Giron. Exit 15. Drive right in for an old-fashioned low-pressure deal on a tremendous selection of brand new 1972 Fords and Mercuries. Low pressure, low profits. Because Trice-Giron's overhead is low, selection is huge. Service is steady, dependable. Take the time-saving, money-saving, easy way to a new Ford or Mercury. No stoplights up the Northway, exit 15, and drive right into the area's leading Ford Mercury dealer, Trice-Giron of Saratoga.
Well, the next Yankee big gift today will be Ball Day on Saturday, May 27th against the Detroit Tigers. We'll get a Wilson baseball on that day. And then on Bat Day, June 18th, that's Father's Day against the Texas Rangers. You can pick up Hillerich and Bradby bats. These bats are made by the same company that makes the professional bat for the ball players. That's Bat Day on Sunday, June 18th. And then the biggest of all days, Old Timers Day on Saturday, July 22nd. And the California Angels will provide the competition for the Yankees. So Old Timers Day, Saturday, July 22nd. Frank?
All right, here's the pitcher. Dick Tidrow is a batter here in the third inning, and Kline misses low and inside, ball 1. Tidrow has been up 13 times and has 3 base hits and 3 runs batted in. He's scored 2 runs, so he's helped himself out with the bat. He takes a breaking pitch for a strike, and the count evens 1-1. This kid pitched 4 one-hit games in 1 year in high school. Pitched a no-hitter on his 18th birthday. That was his senior year in high school. And once struck out 19 hitters in a 7-inning ball game. He swings and misses. Well, he swung at that. I'm not sure how he got those 3 base hits. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Big lad at 6'4", 220 pounds. Spread stance up in front of the plate. Bounces this one slowly back to the mound. Kline has it. Wheels around and throws to first base, 1 down. Steve Kline has his 3rd comebacker. Leone and McCraw both hit back to the mound in the first inning. Kline has his 3rd assist in the ball game, and it will bring up the top of the order Del Unser. Unser grounded out to McKinney at 3rd, his first time up. He takes his time moving in there. Unser is an excellent outfielder. In 1968, he led all center fielders in assists and double plays. He bluffs a bunt to bring McKinney in and takes the ball outside. He had 22 assists in his rookie year and 10 double plays, and that led all major league center fielders. Pitch to him is low. Unser in his first major league ball game went 5 for 5 and hit a home run. He swings on this one, fouls it back upstairs. He was saying to himself, there's nothing to this game. Imagine that in your first game in the major leagues. That was opening day in Washington in 1968. 5 for 5 and a homer. McKinney stays in tight on him. 2-1 pitch. Line foul. That'll be in the seats down the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The game. Bill White says the game caught up with him. He wound up hitting what? 220 or 230?
30. I think he got all his hits his first ball game.
2-2. Kline brings it. He hits it right back to the pitcher again, and Kline has his 4th as he throws him out. 2 down. It brings up Eddie Leone, the shortstop. Leone bounced back to Kline his first trip. Leone owns a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering from the University of Arizona. Swings on the first pitch and fouls it to the seats down the right field line. Strike 1. Kline ready to work again. Score tied 1-1 here in Cleveland. And a strike gets the outside part of the plate. 0-2. Looks like a slider. Two outs and nobody on. Bottom half of the 3rd. Kline ready to work again. Youngster kicks and deals low and outside with a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I asked Kline if he could learn much from last night's ball game watching Kekich pitch, and he said not really, Kekich being a left-hander. 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Steve Kline picks up his first strikeout in the ball game as he gets the side in order, and Kline has now retired the last 7 men in a row. At the end of 3 innings of play here at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, it's the New York Yankees 1 and the Cleveland Indians 1.
Lieutenant Stephen Massey, U.S. Navy.
I became a naval officer, naval flight officer, because I like to fly. We're responsible for navigation, for using the weapon systems we have aboard, and comparably to the outside, we handle a lot more responsibility. It's more exciting, I'm getting more money, and it's a job I'm proud of. I can walk on the street and walk tall because of the job I know I'm doing.
See your Navy man about being a naval flight officer. Today's Navy helps you be what you want to be, right now. The Navy is for guys who like to fly.
I am a helicopter pilot. I enjoy the life-saving mission that I'm involved in now. I've helped out delivering blood plasma to an accident victim. I've towed a cabin cruiser with a helicopter. Plus the fact that we don't fly that high. And you look at girls on the beach. You can see grandma hanging out her wash. You can see people driving cars. And it's a lot more contact with the world around you.
See your Navy man about being a naval helicopter pilot. Today's Navy helps you be what you want to be right now.
Right here, we're ready to go to the fourth inning. And ready to step in with the play-by-play, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Bill White. Bill?
All right, Frank Metzer and Ronnie Blomberg will be the Yankees' first hitter. The Boomer's been up once. He bounced out to the first baseman. Dick Tidrow on the mound for the Indians. Steve Kline for the Yankees. The score's tied 1-1. We're in the top of the fourth. Blomberg backs out as Tidrow takes a long time looking in at coffee. Yankees scored on Mercer's third home run of the year with nobody on, 2 outs in the first. Cleveland picked up their run, also in the first. Tidrow misses too low for ball. Big fella up from Wichita, where he won 8 games and lost 6. Had a big ERA, 4.1. But he's done well in his start here in the majors. The breaking ball is fouled off by Blomberg, 1-1. I imagine Phil Rizzuto that a guy as big as Tidrow, who comes all 3/4 of sidearm, would be tough on a right-handed hitter.
I can't understand, Bill, as you say, why he didn't have a better record in the minor leagues, but that's happened to a lot of pitchers. They pitch a lot better when they get up here. Maybe it's the support of the fellas in back of them. But he is big. You know, their whole pitching staff is big when you look at it.
Yep, they throw downhill. 1-1 pitch down to Blomberg. Swung on and missed 1-2. Threw it by. So fastball up and in. Bloomer swung through it, so the count runs 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Indians have McCraw at first, Brohamer down at second, Leon's the shortstop, and Nettles is the third baseman. The outfield, Johnson, Unser, and Gus Buddy Bell in right field. Here's the 1-2 pitch down to Blomberg. Almost hits him inside, too close. They play Ronnie to pull. Ellie Howard coaching down at first base for the Yankees. Dick Hauser down at third. Tidrow looks in. He likes the sign. The big right-hander's over the head. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball misses high and away. Full count. It'll be Blomberg, Munson, and then McKinney. Mercer's home run, the Yankee run. Johnson doubled with 2 outs, and Nettles singled to left field, the opposite field, for the only Cleveland run. Here's the payoff pitch now to Blomberg. Swung on, fouled off. That'll be out of play, over behind the Cleveland dugout. Blomberg with a good cut at a fastball, just missed it, fouled it off, so the count's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ronnie's been up 41 times. He has 12 hits, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. He's just under 300 now. That's for the first time this year, Blomberg under 300. And we're ready. Here's the payoff pitch again. Swung on, line drive, center field. Can Unser get it? Yes, he has the range now, and he has it easily for the first out. Boomer hit the ball hard right to the center fielder, Del Unser, who was shading him just a bit toward right field. So there's 1 out here in the fourth, and the hitter is Thurman Munson. Munson broke his bat in the second inning, but had enough bat on the ball to line it past the shortstop, Eddie Leon, who dove for the ball. Like for an instant, Leon might have misjudged it, but Munson got a base hit, so he's 1 for 1. Right-handed hitter. Takes a breaking ball too low. Thurman leads the Yankees in base hits with 26. It's 26 for 78, and he's among the top 10 in the American League. 1-0 pitch to him, sidearm fastball, backs him off. 2 balls and no strikes. The outfield straightens up for Munson. Buddy Bell, the right fielder, is in close, and he's in right center field. Unser shades a couple of steps toward left field in center. And Alex Johnson, the left fielder, is straight away out there. 320 down both lines, 375 in the power alleys. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, hit the right field. Bell is right there. Had he played perfectly, moves one step and gloves the ball for the second out. With 2 outs, the hitter will be Rich McKinney. McKinney's still under 200. He has a home run and 5 runs batted in. First time up, he bounced to the third baseman, Nettles. And Gene Michael moves into the on-deck circle. Scores tied 1-1. We're at the top of the fourth. 2 outs, nobody on base. And a breaking ball gets the outside corner. Looked like the Yankees might get to Tidrow in the first couple of innings. Sent 9 men up in those 2 innings, but they only got 1 run. Threatened a couple times. Breaking balls hit the third. Nettles gloves it on a big hop. Goes to first base, and there's 3 outs. For the Yankees in the fourth, for the first time in this ball game, 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 3.5, the Yankees won, the Cleveland Indians won.
You know how it is with that first cold beer. It goes down so easy, and it tastes so good. Now, wouldn't it be great if your second beer tasted just the same? Just as smooth and just as bright? And imagine getting all that first beer pleasure every beer through. Man, that'd be some kind of beer. And Schaefer beer is.
Schaefer is the one to have when you're having more than one. Schaefer pleasure doesn't fade when your thirst is done. The most rewarding flavor in this man's world for people who are having fun. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Well, the Yankees will really be happy to get home to the friendly confines of Yankee Stadium. Flying home right after the game tonight. And they've got some mighty big games coming up. The Red Sox come in Friday night, 7:30 start, Saturday afternoon, and a big doubleheader on Sunday. Then these same Cleveland Indians come in Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday afternoon, followed by the Tigers Friday night, Saturday the 27th, which is ball day, Sunday afternoon, and a big doubleheader on Monday the 29th. Bill?
All right, Philip, Alex Johnson's in for Cleveland. This guy doubled the right field his first time up and scored on a single by Nettles. And he's hustling quite a bit more here for Cleveland. Swings on the first pitch. McKinney dives to his left, gloves the ball at third base, across the diamond, and another fine play by Blomberg, who scooped the ball out, and Johnson's out. 5-3. McKinney moving quickly to his left. The ball was by him almost in left field, but the glove was down. The ball stuck in it, and he got him at first base. And this is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. Let's pause for station identification.
You are listening to Radio 81, WGY, a General Electric broadcasting station in Schenectady, New York.
Graig Nettles is in now after that great play by Rich McKinney. And he takes 2-0 for a ball. 1 out, nobody on, where the last half of the fourth inning, scores all tied. Indians won and the Yankees won. Just had finished talking a couple innings ago about Rich McKinney's fielding. Curveballs hit on the ground. Blomberg backhands it. He goes to Kline, covering his off his glove. That would, I would think, have to be an error on Steve Kline. The ball was up there where he could handle it. It wasn't low, it wasn't behind him. And Steve Kline has gotten an error. Blomberg moved to his right, backhanded the ball, made a perfect throw to Kline. But Steven is being quite anxious to get to the bag, fumbled the ball, but he held Nettles there at first base. So give Kline an error, and that's the first error of this ball game for the Yankees.
And as you know, Bill, being an ex-first baseman, he led Kline beautifully, gave it to him plenty early enough so he could catch it and then look for the bag.
Right. All right, with 1 out, Nettles at first, Tommy McCraw is in. McCraw bounced back to Kline his first trip. Scores all tied, 1 apiece. We're in the last half of the fourth. McKinney moves in close to third. Blomberg holding Nettles at first. The pitch is too high for a ball. Outfield from McCraw straight away. McCraw, one of the many surprises on this Cleveland ball club. He's hitting over 340. He's got 25 hits, a home run, 7 runs batted in, and he's stolen 7 bases. Quick throw the first. Nettles just gets back in there. He caught Nettles looking in at McCraw hitting. And almost picked him off. Nettles has stolen a base for the Indians, as Aspromani has him running more this year. Kline comes set. 1-0 pitch. There goes the runner. Ball's hitting the left field. White's after it. He has a long run for it. Now he has the range, and he gloves it. Nettles now halfway down to second base. Will have to hurry back to first base, and he gets there safely. White with a long run from left center field corralled the ball near the left field line, and they're 2 away.
Phil, did you ever play the outfield in your career?
I was out in the outfield. I can't say I played it.
Well, the reason I say that, after a long run like that, when you're running so long, every once in a while you run on your heels, and sort of does something to your eyesight. You could drop the ball easy.
Right. That's why you should really run on your toes.
Yes.
The reason I say I was out there, they put me out there in center field for half a year, and then the pitchers all got together and sent a petition around.
Got you out of there.
Got me out of there. Here's Fosse. Bounced down the third base line. It's called foul. Ball was closed, and Bobby Hoffman now will argue with the third base umpire, Jim Odom. The ball is foul. Nettles all the way to third will have to cut across the dime, and then Fosse all the way down to first base, thinking he might have possibly had a double. Will have to come back. Ball was shot down the third baseline, but it just hooked outside the line foul. So no balls and a strike on Fosse. My one moment of glory in the outfield in 56, Phil, when they put me in for defense for Dusty Rhodes. Dusty wouldn't speak to me anymore.
No kidding.
No.
Boy, he could hit him in that short right field porch there.
Well, he could not catch anything.
I know.
Neither could I. I guess I was the lesser of 2 evils. I could run to it and drop it. Dusty couldn't get to it, and if it would happen to be hit right at him, he'd drop it. The next day, some guy sent him a 1920 helmet, Army helmet. Here's the 0-1 pitch down to Fosse. Hit on the ground. This one's right at McKinney. He'll go to second base, and he gets the force out there. So for the Indians in the fourth, no runs on no hits. There was 1 error and a man left on base. At the end of 4, the Indians won and the Yankees won.
These are the sounds of a friendly little game of basketball. And that's not all. They're also the sounds of a thirst in the making. A more than 1 beer thirst. A thirst that's big enough for a couple of beers at least. A thirst that's big enough for Schaefer. Schaefer has the unmatched quality of flavor that never fades. First cold, frosty glass to last. Schaefer is made for the more than 1 beer man. Always has been. Always will be.
Schaefer is the 1 beer to have when you're having more than one.
Quick look at the scores. Baltimore, Detroit later on. Texas at Kansas City. Boston at Milwaukee later on. Minnesota beat the White Sox 8-1. Oakland at California later on. Montreal playing the Mets. No score at the end of 1/2 inning. McAnally against Gentry. And Pittsburgh leads the Cardinals 2-0 into 1. Cleveland against Blass. And Vic Devilio got his 2nd homer of the year in the first with 1 on. Cubs won. Phillies nothing, end of an inning and a half. Hands against Carlton. Randy Hundley got his 4th homer of the year. Atlanta at Houston. Not underway, and Cincinnati beat the Giants, and Juan Marichal lost his 7th game of the year against 1 win. Grimsley the winner. Morgan homered with a man on for Cincinnati, and Jim Rayhart got his 1st of the year. Bill?
All right, Philip, and Gene Michael will lead off for the Yankees as we go in the first half of the 5th inning. Scores all tied, 1 apiece. Michael struck out first time against Tidrow. This time he takes down low for a ball. The infield and the outfield shorten up for Michael batting left-handed. The outfield plays him straight away and almost behind the infielders. Here's a 1-0 pitch down to Gene. Swung on, bounced to second base. A high hopper. Brohamer charges, goes to the first baseman, and there's one away. You know, Phil, listen to you read those scores. Marishall's 1-7. Gibson hasn't won a ball game yet. He's either 0-4 or 0-5. And Denny McLean being sent down to Birmingham by the Oakland A's. It looks like we're going to have maybe a turnover in pitchers in the major leagues.
Could very well. Not that Fritz Peterson is in their age bracket, but Fritz is yet to win his first game of the year, too. They're all outstanding pitchers.
Here's Kline with one out. Breaking ball's line to center. Unser's there, though. He was in close. Moves 3 or 4 steps into left center field, and he has it for the second out. So with Marichal, though, I believe the Mets beat him 1-0. Gibson's 0-5, Bill Kane just reminded me. But Marichal got no runs his last time out, and today he only got one. So he hasn't really pitched that badly, I don't suppose.
No. He's liable to turn right around and win 8 in a row, though. He's done that before.
All of them. Gibson, Marichal. Of course, McLean, they feel that he's had it. They don't think he can throw any longer.
That was a strange thing today. He had called a press conference, and then just before it was due to start, he called it off. But he was going to retire, and then somebody finally talked some sense into him. After all, he's making around $75,000, $80,000.
Clarke is in. Takes inside for a ball.
You know, he was taking diet pills, and they really weakened him. So Denny used the old Lefty Gomez cliche. When Lefty was in his last year with the Yankees, he says, I'm still throwing as hard as ever, but the ball takes a little longer to get up there.
And those hitters that you've been getting out, they really like to get you when you don't have that good stuff. 1-0 pitch down to Clarke. Outside, ball 2. 2 outs, nobody on. We're the top of the 5th. Scores all tied up, 1 apiece. The New York Yankees and the Cleveland Indians. 2-0 pitch to Clarke is swung on and it's fouled. Indians trying to get back at the Yankees for that Brooklyn Bridge deal. Tidrow has a new ball now. Steps behind the mound. White rubs it up pretty good. A little rosin on it. And he's in the windup. Rocks back. 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Clarke has been up 2 times. He's flied to center field and got an infield single. Got all the way to third. Went to second on a wild pitch and got to third. Callison flied out to center field. But he was left stranded there as Murcer aligned to the shortstop. 2-0, ball 4. So Clarke has walked. And Tidrow had gotten 8 Yankees out in a row until that walk to Horace Clarke. So also on down at first base now with 1 out, and Johnny Callison's in. Callison's been up twice. He's popped to the second baseman and flied to center field. Clarke has 2 stolen bases for the Yankees. Murcer has 2. White has 5. Munson 3. Clarke leads at first. Tidrow goes to first base. Clarke dives back in. He's safe. They play Callison full here in Cleveland's Municipal Stadium. As Clarke leads again, Tidrow looks over his shoulder at them. Comes to the plate. Bounced foul. That'll be just outside the Cleveland dugout down the first base line. No balls and a strike on Callison. There are 2 outs. Horace Clarke at first base. He's being held there by McCraw. The second baseman, Brohamer, is a foot on the outfield grass there at second. The outfield shades Callison to full. Another throw to first base. Clarke is back again. House did not slide this time, and he almost got trapped there. Tidrow paying a lot of attention to the base runners now. Another throw to first. Clarke's back easily. He's given up a stolen base to White. and also one to Munson. In fact, Munson stole third base on him. This big fella takes a lot of time to uncoil and get the ball toward home plate. Now he comes set. Throws the first lob this time. Clarke is back. He's thrown over there 3 or 4 times now. Of course, Callison quite impatient at the plate. Also 1-1 on John. Clarke leads. Another throw to first. Slides back in. If he's paying that much attention to the base runner, as Clarke calls time, there's no way he can concentrate on a guy with a bat. And that can get you in trouble. Only thing you can do is develop a little balk move. The runner will not know when you're going to the plate or coming over there. But you have to worry about the umpires calling it there. Now we're ready. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Callison. Inside. Ball 1. 1-1. You ever see that Drysdale balk? No. When he comes set and he just moved his left knee back towards second, which is a motion that looks like you're going home. Instead, he would whirl and throw to first base.
And they didn't call it. That was his natural.
No, that wasn't his natural move, but he learned it. And it became his natural move, so they wouldn't call a balk on it. Clarke is back in at first on that little toss over there. Count's even here, a ball and a strike on Callison. Horace Clarke at first base. There are 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th. Scores all tied. The Indians won, the Yankees won. Now the stretch by Tidrow. Pitch. Bounce to first base. McCraw knocks it down, and he'll go and take it himself at first base. And that's it for Callison. And that's it for the Yankees in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors. A walk and a man left on base. At the end of 4 1/2, the Yankees won, the Cleveland Indians won.
You know what good humor makes besides great ice cream? Great special offers. That's right. This time it's a motorized good humor ice cream truck made by...
Ladies and gentlemen, in the center ring, the one and only Terry Morris, back with a great twin performance. Terry Morris, Ford and Mercury, your double good auto dealer. 2 great lines of cars, 2 outstanding locations. Morris, Ford and Mercury, Route 50 at Burnt Hills, and Route 50 in downtown Ballston Spa. Yes, Terry Morris is back with the square deals you remember and the service you already expect with the Terry Morris name. As always, Morris gives you more. Prices like these: 1972 Mavericks, $19.95. 72 Pintos, $18.15. 72 Torinos, $23.25. 72 Mustangs, $24.55. See why everyone is excited? Terry Morris is back. See Ford's newest twin dealer, Morris Ford and Mercury, 1 mile north of the Burnt Hills traffic light on Route 50 and Milton Avenue in downtown Ballston Spa.
And they will last for 15 minutes. That's on the left field section of Yankee Stadium. And Sunday at 11 a.m. because there's a doubleheader starting at 1. Phil?
All right, Phil, and the pitcher. Going over the pitchers for the Yankees for this weekend series with the Boston Red Sox. Mel Stottlemyre on Friday, Fritz Peterson on Saturday, Mike Kakich and Rich Hinton on Sunday. Buddy Bell is in, and he bunts on the first pitch, but it goes foul down the third base line. Bell, a right-handed hitter, he's popped up. He's 0 for 1, popped up to second base his only time up. With very little minor league experience, this young son of former major leaguer Gus Bell is batting well over 260 with a home run and 9 runs batted in for the Indians. Originally, he's an infielder, but the Indians have gotten quite a bit of mileage out of him by putting him in the outfield. Kline is ready with the 0-1 pitch, and it's a sidearm fastball that misses outside. Count runs now, ball and a strike. Scores all tied. We're in the last half of the 5th inning. Each team has 1 run. Bobby Murcer's 3rd home run of the year has accounted for the Yankee run. As Bell takes away from it, ball 2. The Indians picked up their run in the last half of the 1st inning after Mercer's home run got the Yankees off and run into a 1-0 lead in their half of the 1st. when Alex Johnson doubled to right field with 2 outs, and Graig Nettles singled to left field. This ball popped up into short right field. Callison's after it. John with a long run now, and he finally gloves the ball for the first out. Callison started out, looked up into the atmosphere here, which is quite foggy, and he finally found the ball and hustled in and made the catch in short right field for the first out here in the 6th. In the last half of the 5th. And that'll bring in a switch-hitting Jack Brohamer. Brohamer's 0 for 1. Clarke robbed him of a base hit. His first time up. As Kline misses outside. Brohamer hit the ball in the hole between Clarke and Blomberg, and Horace racing out on the grass. Gloved the ball and made a good play. This ball's hit the same place. Clarke moves to his right this time. To his left, rather. Comes up with it and gets him at first base. So there are 2 outs. Horace moving toward the first baseline. This time, though, he got there quicker and corralled the ball in front of it. And got over to Blomberg for the second out. Here's Dick Tidrow, the pitcher. Tidrow gets a hand here. He's 0 for 1. Bounce back to Kline, his only trip. Swings on the first pitch, hits it down the third baseline. McKinney will wait, gloves the ball behind the back, fires the ball across the diamond, and there are 3 outs. So for the Indians in the 5th, 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 5 full innings of play, the New York Yankees won, and the Cleveland Indians won.
When you believe in people, the word gets around.
Most people have problems not because they owe too much money, but because they owe money too many places. So an AVCO consolidation loan may not only pay off all your bills, it may even cut your monthly payments. When you come into AVCO, you come into money. Because if you deserve the credit, at AVCO you get it. Call us, AVCO Financial Services.
When you believe in people, the word gets around.
You know, the real pros in baseball always give it their best. And it's the same with the dining places that honor the Carte Blanche credit card. I mean, places like the Dallas Cowboy at 60 East 49th Street, where the menu is real Texas style. And the Press Box at 139 East 45th Street, a great place to meet for lunch, dinner, or cocktail. They always give you their best in food and service. Enjoy these fine restaurants soon with a Carte Blanche credit card. Carte Blanche, a subsidiary of AVCO. Well, Bill, it's been a long road trip for you fellas. Not so much for me, but I guess you'd be glad to get back.
Hey, the Scooter got graduated over there, huh? He was graduated?
No, wait, it was a mistake. I heard you mention that on the air, and I appreciate it. But he's just a freshman. And it was a big father and son dinner that they gave at the school. Bob Fischel wanted me to tell you it was his fault for saying that Scooter graduated. But he's not quite that smart, because he's only 16. But it was a big thrill anyway.
Good. Very good. Bobby Murcer will lead off with the Yankees as we go into the top half of the 6th inning. Bobby's responsible for the Yankees' only run when he hit his 3rd home run into the right field seats here in the 1st inning with nobody on. He had an opportunity to drive in a run in the 3rd inning with Clarke there with 1 out, but he lined very hard to the shortstop, Leon. So Mercer's 1 for 2, and the score's all tied up 1-1 as we go into the 6th. Breaking ball is too high to thrown past Fosse. We talked to you yesterday. The screen here behind home plate is very close to home plate, very close to the playing field. And the catcher can almost turn around and pick a ball up after it gets by him here. It's only about from a third to half the distance of most major league ballparks. Very short. So all pass balls, there's always a chance to throw a guy out. Or a wild pitch. Now the 1-0 pitch from Tidrow to Mercer. Swung on, popped up into center field. This will be easy for Unser. Dell has the range now, moves a step to his right and has it for the first out. With 1 out, it'll be Roy White. White bats left-handed against Tidrow. He's been up twice, walked and stole a base back in the first inning. And he fouled out to the third baseman Nettles in the third. Roy with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Unser in center field moves a step toward the right center now. Bell, the right fielder, plays deep and to pull out there. First pitch misses away. Small gap in left center field for White. There's room also down the left field line. The 1-0 pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. 1-1. Neither team has been mashing the ball. Right-hander Vince Colbert has gotten up. He's warming down the right field line for the Indians. Here's the 1-1 pitch now to White. Swung on, line drive, past the first baseman McCraw, almost hit him in the mouth. Ball hopped up quickly on him, and White takes a long turn there at first, but he gets back in, and he has a base hit single to right field for the Yankees. That's hit number 4. And that'll bring in Ronnie Blomberg. Blomberg looking for his first base hit. He's 0 for 2. Bounced to first and line to center. Last time White was on, he was running and he stole second. Tidrow wants a new baseball. White has stolen 5 bases in 5 attempts. The Yankees trying to go ahead here. They're all even at 1 apiece with the Indians. And they've got Blomberg in and Munson on deck. With 1 out. Tidrow comes set. White does not have a big lead. Pitch misses outside. Tidrow has been trying to pitch the left-handers away. Every once in a while he'll come in and brush him back. Oh, let's see. Fosse calls time. He wants to talk to his big right-hander. Pittsburgh leads St. Louis 3-0 at the end of 2. The Mets lead Montreal 3-0 at the end of 1. Cubs lead Philadelphia 1-0 at the end of 3. Minnesota this afternoon beat Chicago 8-1. Baltimore and Detroit are fighting over second and third place. The Indians are in first place. And they'll be in next week at the stadium. Tuesday night. Pitch down to Blomberg. Line drive. That should be a base hit to right field. White around second base. He'll go to third as Bell comes up with the ball, gets it into second. And Boomer's held there. Throws off just a bit, but Leon and Nettles held it, and the Yankees now have runners at first and third, 1 out, and Thurman Munson's in. Hit number 5 for the Yankees. They have a run on 5 hits. They've made 1 error. The Indians have a run on 2 hits. They've made no errors. Now the opportunity for the Yankees here to go ahead. Munson has a single. And he's flied to right field, so he's 1 for 2. Thurman, the leading Yankee hitter. Nettles, the third baseman's in close. The first baseman, McCraw, will have to hold Blomberg at first. The shortstop, Leon, and the second baseman, Brohamer, back at their normal positions. They're looking for 2. They cheat just a bit, both of them towards second base. Now Tidrow walks off on the back part of the mound, wipes his fingers. Rubs the ball up. The outfield plays Munson straight away. Thurman with an opportunity to drive in his 9th run of the year. Swings on the first pitch, fouls it off. Blomberg all the way down to second will have to go back. Ronnie will have to take somebody out down there in case for ground ball. Roy White on at third, Blomberg on at first. There's 1 out. We're at the top of the 6th. The Yankees with the go-ahead run in the first of Roy White at third. As the score is all tied up at 1 apiece. And Roy will be running no matter what happens, unless it's a line drive to somebody. The 0-1 pitch to Munson. Strike 2, a breaking ball. It just hit the outside corner. Breaking ball. So Tidrow ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes. And the pressure now is on Munson. He backs out. This big fella has 3 pitches now he can play with. He can nibble. He can knock you down. Do anything he wants to because it counts 0-2. Roy White leads from third. Blomberg from first. Tidrow comes set. The pitch. Swung on. Bounce foul. That'll be into the Yankee dugout. Got Hal Lanier up down there. Lanier watching the ball game from the far end of the dugout. The count still no balls and 2 strikes. White back at third. Blomberg back at first. And Colbert heating up a lot harder now down in right field for the Indians. Vinny Colbert. Probably the Indians have a pitcher on their staff under 6'3". They do. They have him hidden somewhere.
The only one is Mingori.
Mingori?
5'11". He's the only one under 6 feet.
Pitch to Munson popped up in foul territory down the first baseline. McCraw moves over and he has it for the second out. So Munson fouls out to McCraw, and Tidrow and Indians now can breathe it just a bit easier as Rich McKinney steps in. Asked for money. Kenny asked for money from Brooklyn. Done such a great job with these Indians so far this year. Is out talking to his pitcher now. Bill, do you remember Kenny at all?
Oh, yes, I played against Kenny, as a matter of fact. He was with, I think, the Senators briefly, wasn't he? And with Cleveland for a little while.
Yeah?
Let's see, what year?
He came in with, San Francisco, that's the Pacific Coast. Boston, the American League in 57. 58, he spent between Boston and Washington, the Senators. 58, 59, 60. Then he went to the Dodgers. They traded him back to Cleveland. So he's been around a little bit. Also played with Milwaukee, Chicago Cubs, and also in Japan. Played in Tokyo for 3 years.
Yes. He managed over there, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Here's Rich McKinney, and he takes the strike. 2 outs. The Yankees have runners at first and third. What's that, the Rio Whales or Taiyo Whales? Japan Central League. And 64, 65, and 66. Time's called now as the ball gets out in right field. Colbert. The ball passes catcher out there. That's Jerry Moses. Came over here from the Angels along with Alex Johnson. For Penson and a few more people. Counts no balls and a strike on McKinney with 2 outs. Rich is 0 for 2. The pitch swung on, popped up in short right field. Unser, the center fielder now, moves over in front of Bell, and they almost collide, but Unser picks the ball out of the air for the third out. So the Yankees threaten, but they pick up no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and both men were left stranded. At the end of 5 1/2, the Yankees won, the Cleveland Indians won.
One day to have when you're having more than one. Shaver, laser, doesn't pay even when the first one's gone.
Well, as you know, there's something special about a baseball game that makes a couple of frosty cold beers really taste great. Maybe that's why so many baseball fans are Schaefer fans, too. Because Schaefer delivers that first beer pleasure, first frosty glass to last. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. And, brother, you've got it coming.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
You are listening to Radio 81, WGY, a General Electric broadcasting station in Schenectady, New York.
Well, Bill White, you mentioned before about Cleveland coming in. As a matter of fact, The three teams ahead of the Yankees are coming in, the Red Sox, the Cleveland Indians, and the Detroit Tigers. So the Yankees, playing good ball now, have a chance to really move up in the standings on that homestand.
That's right. They're only 5 games out now behind the Indians. So that's an excellent opportunity to move up in the standings early in the season. Here's Del Unser. He takes a breaking ball on the outside corner. As we go into the last half of the 6th inning, the score is all tied up. The Yankees won and the Indians won. This little left-hander hitter is 0 for 2. He's bounced out both times up. McKinney tries to take the bunt away from him down to third, and Blomberg's also close to first. 1-0 pitch. This is outside, 1-1. The Yankee outfielders play Muncer to hit the ball to the opposite field. They play him to hit the left. Mercer a shade or 2 into left field. White down the left field line. Callison out in right center field. Kline rocks back and delivers. Swung on, line drive, base hit center field. Muncer hustles around first base, and they have to hold there as Mercer comes up with the ball. And the Indians trying to get something started here in the 6th. Eddie Leon's in. Leon, the shortstop, has bounced out and he's struck out. He's out looking at his third base coach, Bobby Murcer. Time is called now. Now Leon's in. And we're ready to go. Muncer has speed, and he leads. McKinney's looking for the bunt. The pitch is swung on, given to right field. Callison's right there, though, and John has it easily. Muncer halfway down to second will have to go back to first. So there's one out here in the 6th. And here's the tough Alex Johnson. Johnson 1 for 2, double to right field, and he scored the only run of the game for the Indians. He's also bounced to third. Alex bats right-handed. Not yet hitting for average, but he's got some key base hits for the Indians. Johnson batting .261 coming into tonight's ball game, but he has 16 runs batted in. He has 4 home runs. Time call now as Kline sets back off the rubber. One out, Unser first. They play Johnson straight away, both in the infield and the outfield. Now Kline comes set. The pitch, fouled off. Straight down, off Munson's shin guard. Bounces back onto the playing field, and Don Dinkinger's going to throw the ball out. Steve Kline will have to go to his good sinker here to get this ball on the ground, and Johnson is, he's quick. People really don't know how fast this guy is because they haven't seen him run in about 5 years. But he can get down first base when he wants to. Quick throw to first. Unser dives back in ahead of the tag by Blomberg. He just cruised in the second base on his double. Made it easy. Steve now hiding the ball, and he's ready. Comes set at the top. The 0-1 pitch to Johnson. Given to right field. Callison's after. He cannot get to it. Ball in front of him. Unser had to hold up, and he'll stop there at second base. Unser.
Johnny Callison gave him a pretty good decoy as though he was going to catch the ball, and that saved the Yankees from the speedy Del Unser moving to third base.
Right, John decoyed him, and Unser had to move in halfway.
You know, he's got to be strong, Bill, as Alex Johnson. Both those base hits were inside to him, and yet he got 2 hits to right field.
And the bat wasn't broken.
No.
Well, Gene Michael now out talking to Kline. The Indians are threatening. Unser's down at second. Johnson's at first. 1 out, and Graig Nettles is in. Nettles drove in the Indians' only run back in the first inning. Scores all tied, 1-1. And he got on an error by Kline in the 4th. So he's 1 for 2. Big left-handed hitter. Swings on the first pitch, but he doesn't get it. The Yankees have Jim Rowland and Fred Bean warming up. Rowland, a left-hander, and Bean, a right-hander. Little action down left field for the Yankees, as the Indians are trying to put some heat here on Steve Kline. Steve comes set. He takes Unser at second. The pitch. Swung on, popped up in the infield. Michael now out behind second base. Gene's under. The infield flies fall, and they're 2 outs. Kline now with just a bit of water on that heat. But let's see what happens with the hot-hitting McCraw in. McCraw is 0 for 2. He's bounced back to Kline. He slides to left field. He's batting left-handed. McCraw with 25 hits now in 74 appearances. That should be around 333. Big surprise for the Indians, this fella. Came here from the Texas Rangers. Kline comes to checks the runner. A pitch. Swung on, bounced to first. Blomberg has a big hop. There's a race to first, and Ronnie wins it for the third out. So Kline pitches out of trouble here in the sixth. The Indians pick up no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and both runners were left stranded. At the end of 6 full innings of play now, the Indians have 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. The Yankees 1 run on 5 hits, and they've made 1 error.
This is Henry Diamond, Commissioner of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Springtime means the return to the outdoors for many people, and unfortunately it also means the return of that unwanted pest, the litter bug. Last year, New York State spent $26 million cleaning up beverage cans, soda bottles, lunch wrappers, and other junk which people strew along roadsides and campsites. The money spent on trash could have been used for many far better things. Scouting, conservation, and recreation organizations do an excellent job cleaning up litter. But if everyone pitched in, there wouldn't be any litter problem at all. Here's what you can do. Think. Make sure you don't litter. Keep a litter bag in your car and use it. When you go out hiking, camping, or fishing this season, carry out what you brought with you and pick up garbage left by thoughtless people. Together, with just a little effort, we can do both our pocketbook and our environment a great service by simply treating the outdoors for what it really is, part of our home.
In the National League, the Mets picked up 3 runs the first inning, and they lead Montreal 3-0 at the end of 2.5. Right here, Guy will give you the rest of the scores, and we'll take you the rest of the way. Here's our big partner, the Scuda, Bill Rizzuto.
Okay, Bill, and the first pitch to Gene Michael, low inside, ball 1. Gene struck out in the second inning and bounced to second base in the 5th. 1-1 the score. Real tight ball game. No mistakes now. There's a foul just over our heads out of play. 1-1. As Bill said, the Pirates are leading the Cardinals 3-0 at the end of 4. Davalillo and Sanguin have homered in that game for the Pirates. Davalillo with a man on. Cubs 1, Phillies nothing under 3.5. Randy Hundley got his 4th of the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curve over. Good pitch by Dick Tidrow. Atlanta nothing, Houston nothing at the end of 1. Cincinnati beat the Giants and Marichal again 2-1. Marichal now 1-7. Morgan and Hart homered in that game. The big right-hander, 6 feet 4 inches tall, fires one high fly straight away center field. Del Unser moves back, is under it, now goes back again, makes the catch. 1 away. Unser's had a pretty busy night. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 putouts out there in center field. Steve Kline bounced out in front of the plate, thrown out by the catcher, and then lined hard to center field. First pitch is on the inside corner, strike 1 call. Frank Messer brought his coat again. I forgot mine. Anytime you're on the shores of Lake Erie or any lake, it's chilly. Curve low, 1-1.
You know, I brought the coat especially for Minnesota. And that's the one place I didn't need it.
I heard you say, you and Bill, the weather was beautiful. I couldn't believe it.
70 degrees.
The 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. On deck, Horace Clarke. Yankees have 5 hits in 1 run. The Indians 4 hits in 1 run. Yankees have made 1 error, but it didn't cost them anything. Almost did, but they got out of the inning. Now the 2-1 delivery. Slice foul, and McCraw runs into the umpire, but he couldn't get it anyway. He goes back in the box seat.
McCraw was overmatched.
That's right, with Luciano down there. Big ex-football player. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Tidrow taking a little extra time. Neither pitcher has thrown too many pitches in the ball game. Tidrow has only walked 2 men, and Kline has not walked anybody. The 2-2 pitch, a tough pitch, but bounced back to Tidrow. He one-hands it, wheels around, throws to first for the out. And he came by the way of third base that time, and Kline hung in there. So it's 2 out, and the batter will be Horace Clarke, who has flied to center, had an infield hit, and walked. Horace taking plenty of time to allow Steve Kline to get back in the dugout and get a little bit of rest before he has to go out on the mound. Johnny Callison on deck. Yes, sir, if they hadn't taken that base hit away from Horace Clarke out in Anaheim, he'd have a 12-game hitting streak now. All right, 2 out. Pitch to Horace. Popped up to left field. Alex Johnson moves in under it and makes the catch. So Tidrow has an easy inning in the top of the 7th, 3 up, 3 down. And at the end of 6 1/2, it's still the Yankees 1, the Indians 1.
Hi, this is Arlene Francis, and I'm just like everyone else. I'm interested in getting more value for my money. And that's why I prefer Cott quality beverages. They're made from the finest imported and domestic flavorings and fresh, pure water that undergoes 11 different sanitary inspections every day. If I sound enthusiastic, it's because I believe Cott is a brand you can really trust. And now Cott brings us something else, a way to solve our crowded refrigerator problems. Cott introduces convenient new 32-ounce save space bottles. They're specially designed to store easier, pour easier. They're not 26, not 28, but a full 32 ounces. So whatever flavors you like, Cott draft-style root beer, orange, cola, ginger ale, be sure to carry home Cott in handy new 32-ounce safe space bottles. It's Cott to be good.
Another quick mention of the big gift day is ahead. Ball day with the Detroit Tigers, Saturday afternoon, May 27th. Bat day with Texas, Father's Day, Sunday, June 18th. T-shirt day on Wednesday, July 19th with the Minnesota Twins. And, of course, Old Timers Day on Saturday afternoon, July 22nd. We suggest you get your seats for these big dates in a hurry. They'll be big ones. Box seats are $4. Reserved seats are $3 at all Yankee ticket outlets and by mail. When ordering by mail, please add an additional 25 cents to cover the cost of handling and postage. And this 1-1 ball game now goes to the bottom half of the 7th inning, and the young man up there at the plate, quite a favorite here in Cleveland, Phil, Ray Fosse.
Yes, he is, and he's been up twice, and both times bounced out to Rich McKinney at third base. So McKinney moves well back at third and guarding the line as Kline comes sidearm, and the pitch is over the outside corner, strike 1 call. Boy, that's a rough pitch right there. To a right-hand batter when you come by the way of third base and hit the outside corner. Got to step in the bucket just a little bit. Fosse down the end of the bat. Another pitch, this one a little low. 1-1. It'll be Fosse, Buddy Bell, and Jack Brohamer. This is the bottom of the 7th. Both teams scored in the first inning. Murcer homered in the first inning, and the Indians, after 2 are out, Alex Johnson doubled and Graig Nettles singled. Bouncing ball, Michael was right up with it. The long throw in time. Gene Michael, he's really been sparkling on this whole road trip. 1 man out. And now Buddy Bell. Popped to second, fly to right. Last time up, Bell tried to beat out a bunt, and he had everybody fooled. Didn't tip off that he was going to bunt, but it went foul. And he's a big fella. You don't figure him to bunt. Now McKinney about even with the bag at third, just in case. Kline winds his pitch outside, ball 1.
I fear this would be a good infield to butt on, Phil. That grass seems to be awfully heavy down there. The ball doesn't move through it too well.
That's right, and it is a perfect infield to butt on. And, of course, Bell, if he gets that third baseman to move in like McKinney is now, he could hit one by him. And he hits the ground to Michael, who is right. He'll have to hurry this one. A long throw. just in time, and another good play by the stick, Gene Michael. So, 2 up, 2 down, and now Jack Brohamer. Been up twice, both times bounced out to Horace Clarke.
That's the 15th ground ball hit by the Indians, including the error down there at first base. Not by the first baseman Blomberg, but by Kline covering.
Right, Frank. And every time Kline or Stottlemyre are pitching, you see mostly ground balls. There's a high pop to shallow center. Bobby Murcer calls for it. Moving in under it and makes the catch. So Kline has an easy inning in the bottom of the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. And at the end of 7 full innings, it's the Yankees 1 and the Indians 1.
This is Henry Diamond, Commissioner of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Air pollution is one of the major threats to environmental quality. We'll continue to enforce the laws, but we need everyone's help, and spring is a good time for a personal air pollution checkup. First, keep your car well-tuned, or better yet, when you can, walk or ride a bike. Don't burn leaves or cuttings from the yard. Build a compost pile instead. And don't have a smoky home furnace. A clean furnace is cheaper to run, and it doesn't pollute the air.
In our population, there are some children who do not progress educationally and behaviorally as rapidly as their contemporaries, yet they are not mentally retarded. Their condition is believed to result from minor or minimal differences in brain function. An informative booklet relating to the problems of learning disabilities due to minimal brain dysfunction is available from NIH. For your free copy, write to Radio, National Institutes of Health, Bethesda, Maryland, 20014. Ask for publication 1646.
Baltimore failed to score in the first inning over at Detroit. Dobson against Lolich. Texas 3 and Kansas City 1 at the end of 2.5. Bosman against Drago. And Milwaukee leads Boston 2-1 at the end of 2. Sonny Siebert for the Red Sox. Jim Lonborg for Milwaukee. This afternoon, the Twins beat the White Sox 8-1. John Milner has homered for the New York Mets to give them at least a 6-0 lead over Montreal. At the end of 4 innings, Pittsburgh 6, St. Louis nothing. At the end of 5 innings, Cubs 1 and the Phillies 1. Atlanta and Houston scoreless in the 3rd. And Cincinnati beat San Francisco 2-1. Bill?
All right, Frank, we're in the top of the 8th, and Johnny Callison, 0 for 3 tonight, takes a pitch on the inside corner strike call. Johnny has popped to 3rd, fly to center, and bounced out to first base unassisted. Lindy McDaniel gets up in the Yankee bullpen. Nobody down in the Indian bullpen. This big Tidrow, 6'4", 210 pounds. He's a big one. Pitch is a hard one-hopper right at the second baseman, Brohamer. Up with it, throws to first, and there's 1 out. So now Bobby Murcer. First pitch thrown to him in the first inning, hit deep into the right field seats. In the 3rd inning, he lined hard to short. And in the 6th inning, flied to center field. 1 out, 1-1 the score. Top of the 8th. On deck, Roy White. Told you Tidrow taking a little extra time out on the mound. Murcer gets set. Tidrow delivers, and the pitch is low, ball 1. Seems to me, Frank, that the way this guy throws, he must throw a heavy baseball.
Yes.
Outside of the ball Murcer hit, there have not been any hard hit balls off him, really.
Bobby hit 2 a ton.
That's right.
Find out.
Sure, right. Outside ball 2-0. So Tidrow being very careful with Bobby Murcer. And cheers from the kids that are here tonight at the game. The pitch, inside ball 3-0. Both pitchers being very careful.
A big group we talked about them earlier. College kids here from Akron University. And they're being welcomed up there on the message board and responding in kind.
All right, here's a 3-0 pitch to Bobby. And it's ball 4, and he didn't come close to giving Bobby a pitch that he might hit out of the ballpark. That's only the 3rd walk given up by Dick Tidrow. Murcer at first, and it brings up Roy White. Now, the Yankees have been running tonight. White stole a base in the 1st inning. Munson stole 3rd base in the 2nd inning. For Fosse out there talking with Tidrow and probably reminding him he does keep the runner close at first until he delivers the pitch, Frank.
That walk got activity going out in the Cleveland bullpen. Right-hander Ray Lamb, and the left-hander is Denny Riddleberger.
All right, that Riddleberger relieved last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did, and looked very, very good.
He did. All right, McCraw holding the bag against Murcer. Bobby has 2 stolen bases on the year. There's a throw over there. Murcer is back. Tidrow throws a lot to first. But as he delivers to the plate, he's a little lazy with his leg, and they've been stealing on him and not the catch of the pitch. Hard ground of foul outside of first down the right field line. 1 strike on Roy White. Roy, as we told you, walked, stole a base in the first inning, popped to third in the third, and single to right field in the 6th. On deck, Ronnie Blomberg. 1 man out in the top of the 8th, all tied 1-1. Tidrow leans forward to get the sign. Comes to the belt, throw to first. Murcer back easily. Pretty good gap in left center field for Roy White, but Del Unser is slightly over to right center. Pitch to Roy. He bunts, and it's going to be a tough one. Tidrow up, throws off balance in time. A beautiful play by Dick Tidrow as Roy White had Tidrow moving towards first, laid it down third. But the big, hard-throwing right-hander came up barehanded and threw to first, but he moved Murcer in a scoring position. It's a sacrifice, 1-3, pitcher to the first baseman. And the batter, Ronnie Blomberg. Now let's see how manager Ken Aspromonte plays this. Whether he'll walk Blomberg to pitch to Munson.
You got 2 pretty tough hitters up there. Blomberg's been hitting the ball well, and so has Thurman Munson.
Right. If he goes for the percentage, he might walk Blomberg to pitch to a right-hand batter. But as Frank told you, Munson is the hottest hitter on the Yankees. Has the highest batting average, the most hits. And they're going to walk him. That's what they're going to do. They're going to put Blomberg on and try the percentages. Oh, there's ball 1. And Ronnie does not like this. He likes to get up there with those ducks on the pond and try and score them. Ball 2. Tell you one thing, though, Ronnie stays ready in case the pitcher makes a mistake, and sometimes they do. They get it near that strike zone, but Tidrow has really been throwing them way outside. There's ball 3. Matter of fact, there are some managers that say, let's walk him, and then the catcher will make believe he's stepping out, and they'll throw the first one down the middle, and the batter's so surprised he'll take it. That was one of Lou Boudreau's tricks when he was managing. All right, Blomberg is at first base. 4th walk given up, that one intentional. And now Thurman Munson singled in the 2nd inning, stole third, lined hard to right, and then hopped up to first base trying to get away from a high inside fastball. And that was a tough play because the Yankees had runners at first and third with only 1 out. Murcer at second, Blomberg at first base. We're in the top of the 8th. 2 men are out. And the ball game tied up 1-1. Munson taking his time getting ready, and Tidrow taking his time out on the mound. The right-hander set. Pitch to Thurman. A curve over. Strike 1 call. Tidrow walks halfway off the mound, looks back at Murcer, rubbing up the ball. Now goes to the rosin bag. Boy, he has really slowed the pace down here in the last 2 innings. Good speed for the Yankees on the bases and at bat. The stretch. Pitch is high and tight, 1-1.
This is Tidrow's 8th start. He has yet to pitch 9 innings in a ball game. He has not finished one.
Gee, that seems unusual the way he looks tonight, and as big and as strong as he is. This is our first chance to get a look at the big right-hander.
He's averaged 6 innings a start.
All right, so this is the longest he has pitched in the 8th inning. Runners lead away. The pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thurman had a rip at that one. Swung a little too hard. And there's Tidrow walking around on the grass, portion outside the pitcher's box. War of nerves right now between the pitcher and the hitter. And right now, I would say Tidrow has the advantage. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He can afford to waste 1, possibly 2. All right, Blomberg off first. Murcer off second. Sidearmer popped up to right field. Buddy Bell is under it and makes the catch. Well, that's all for the Yankees right here in the top of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left. And at the end of 7 1/2, the Yankees won, the Indians won.
These are the sounds of a friendly little game of basketball. And that's not all. They're also the sounds of a thirst in the making. A more than 1 beer thirst. A thirst that's big enough for a couple of beers at least. A thirst that's big enough for Schaefer. Schaefer has the unmatched quality of flavor that never fades. First cold, frosty glass to last. Schaefer is made for the more than 1 beer man. Always has been. Always will be.
Schaefer is the 1 and a half when you're having more than 1.
Well, 12 big games coming up at Yankee Stadium starting Friday night against the Boston Red Sox. Boston will be in for 4 games. The Cleveland Indians come in for 3, and then the Detroit Tigers are on hand for 5 games, including the Memorial Day doubleheader. So we'll be looking for you at Yankee Stadium during the Yankees' next homestand starting Friday night against the Boston Red Sox. And Phil Rizzuto, it looks like the pitcher Dick Tidrow will bat for himself, leading off the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Yes, and he gets quite a hand. He has pitched quite a ball game. Tidrow hit back to the box and bounced to third. Swings and misses a curveball by about a foot, strike 1. He was looking for the fastball and was going for the downs, and Kline must have read his mind. For Munson. 1 strike. Tidrow has had 3 hits and 15 at bats. Sidearm curve. He missed that one by 2 feet, and it's 0-2.
I said before, I don't see how he got those 3 hits, really.
I tell you, Kline has really made him look bad tonight. I guess he got those 3 hits on fastballs, Frank, because he sure can't hit that curve. The 2-strike pitch, and he hits the ground ball. Base hit to right field. How do you like that? Kline had made him look bad on 2 breaking pitches, then came in with a fastball, and he hit it between first and second out to right field. The 5th hit for the Indians. Oh, man. And that one got Ralph Howgo up the top step of the dugout, being ahead of the pitcher, 0-2. It's a funny thing last night, Mike Kekich was saying on the post-game show that you got to respect pitches. You can't take them for automatic outs. And if Kline had come side-on with a curve that time, Tidrow would have swung at it no matter where it was. All right, here's Del Unser, an excellent bunter, and they'll be bunting. The stretch. He squares, bunts, pops it up, but it comes back on the screen and out of play. Now, that time Unser was trying to be too cagey. What he did was try to bluff a bunt, bring the bat back as though he was going to hit, and then try to bunt. And he was not ready for the pitch. Tidrow at first with the jacket on. McKinney is way in. They could possibly get a forced play at second base if he bunts the ball hard. Blomberg holding the bag. Kline looks over, gets the sign. Here's the stretch. And he swings away, bounces it to McKinney. He goes to Michael. 1, back to first base, not in time. Gets away, but not in the dugout. What a break. Holy cow. And Luciano said no, it did not go in the dugout. It hit the bar. And there's just a bar there, and they're trying to point to where they thought it hit. Kenny Aspromonte in the first base coach, and Luciano says, no, there is not a screen there, and there is just a bar, a metal bar, and it hit that and bounced back out, and Aspromonte is saying it went in the dugout and he should get an extra base. Well, what a break for the Yankees, as Unser that time bluffed the bunt, trying to hit one by McKinney, but Rich was right there, made a perfect throw to Michael covering. And the stick was on the ball getting over there, so it's a fourth play from 5 to 6. The pitcher is out, but the speedy Del Unser is on first base with one out. They say baseball's a game of inches, and that inch really saved the Yankees an extra base right there. The batter is Eddie Leon. Hit to the box, struck out, and line to right field. He's a good hit-and-run man, so the Yankees will have to be alert. As we told you, Unser can run those bases. 1-1 the score, bottom of the 8th inning. One out. Unser leads off first. Pretty big lead. Here's the stretch by Kline. Checks the runner. He's going. The ball has hit the clock. Horace has to go to first base. They get the runner at first, but with the hit and run on, Unser moves into second base. 2 out. And right now, while Alex Johnson comes up, a reminder, this is the New York Yankee Baseball Network, and we pause for station identification.
You are listening to Radio 81, WGY, a General Electric broadcasting station in Schenectady, New York.
Booing because they're putting Alex Johnson on. Now, Ralph Houck has a left-hander and a right-hander warming up down in the bullpen. Jim Rowland, the left-hander, Fred Bean, the right-hander. The on-deck hitter is Graig Nettles, a left-hand batter. So it might lead you to believe, just might, that Ralph Houck might play the percentages, come in with a left-hand pitcher, though Kline hasn't had too many problems with Nettles tonight. His only hit was an opposite field single. So Johnson gets an intentional walk to put runners at first and second. And that's the first walk of the ball game, and here comes Ralph Houck out of the Yankee dugout. Now this kind of shakes you up. We'll have to wait and see if Ralph does bring in the left-hander Rowland. He's out talking with Munson and Kline now. 2 men are out, 2 men on. The score is tied 1-1. And as we told you, in the bottom of the 8th. And Houck makes the call now for the left-hander. And the only reason I say this scares me is because Jim Rowland's debut at Yankee Stadium, he came in to pitch to a left-hand batter. I believe it was Rod Carew, and on the first pitch he singled to left field. So the strategy backfired there, but I'm sure Rowland learned by that mistake and will not throw a fastball on the first pitch. So I hope he's got his radio tuned to WMCA 570 and heard it. It's got to be on his mind, because that's a tough way to break in with a new club.
Rowland will be making his third appearance for the Yankees. In addition to that game against the Minnesota Twins that Phil was talking about, Rowland pitched against the California Angels in the ball game in Anaheim on Sunday afternoon. Gave up 2 hits. They were both home runs by Andy Costco and Leroy Stanton. And who was the other one? Roy White went over the fence to pull another ball back in. Leo Cardenas hit one that Roy White went over the fence for. So right now he'll be working to Graig Nettles with the go-ahead run at second base and 2 men out. So I got to go back to that play a moment ago by Rich McKinney down at third base, and the ball hit by Del Unser. And I have to give credit where it is due. McKinney came up with, I thought, one heck of a play.
He did, because he got a tough target to shoot at. Normally you throw at the second baseman coming in to the bag, but Gene was moving from his left towards the bag, and Rich, who, as we've been saying right along now on this road trip, he's had an outstanding road trip fielding-wise.
You know, he has not made an error since those 4 errors at the ball game in Boston. He has not had an error since then. He had one before that.
Oh,
Only a total of 5 and 4 in that one game.
All right, here we go. 2 men on, 2 men out. Graig Nettles, the batter, and Jim Rowland in relief of Steve Kline. There's a curve. Bounce to second base. Steve up with it is Clarke up his elbow. He gets it. Throws to first in time. That ball rolled right up the arm of Horace Clarke. So Rowland did throw a breaking pitch, and he got Nettles to crack his back on a roll to the second base, and that's it for the Indians. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. And the score now at the end of 8 full innings, the Yankees won, the Indians won.
If you don't have a savings account or other investments, you may think you haven't saved anything at all. Well, if you're a New Jersey homeowner, Avco Financial Services reminds you your home is a savings account. You've been investing money in payments and home improvements, and the value of your property has probably risen. So you have a lot of cash tied up right at home. With a secondary mortgage loan from Avco, you could be using that cash, as much as $10,000 right now, to buy a boat, a second car, anything you want. Next time, remember the savings you have right at home and call Avco Financial Services. Once in a while, a ball player comes along who can do it all, hitting, fielding, and everything. Well, in the credit card field, Carte Blanche is the one that lets you do it all. Carte Blanche gives you instant credit at leading airlines, at fine restaurants, hotels, and motels, for rent-a-cars, gasoline, quality merchandise, and a lot more. Pick up an application soon, wherever you see the familiar Carte Blanche welcome sign, and get in on a brand new card game. Carte Blanche, a subsidiary of Avco. Detroit won, Baltimore nothing, end of 1. Texas 3, Kansas City 1 in the bottom half of the 4th. Milwaukee leads Boston 2-1 in the bottom half of the 4th. Minnesota beat the White Sox 8-1. Mets 9, Montreal 1 at the end of 3.5 innings. Pittsburgh 9, St. Louis nothing at the end of 5. Philadelphia 2, Chicago 1 at the end of 6. Atlanta and Houston scoreless at the end of 3. And Cincinnati defeated San Francisco this afternoon 2-1. Bill?
All right, Frank, the top of the 9th inning, all tied at 1-1. Rich McKinney, 0 for 3 tonight, has bounced to third twice, fly to center. Dick Tidrow been in all the way, winds the curve, is inside, ball 1. It'll be McKinney, Gene Michael, and Fred Bean is loosening up in the bullpen because the pitcher, Rowland, is scheduled to be the third batter this inning. The next pitch is right over the plate, 1-1. Each team with 5 base hits. Tidrow and Kline were really in command after that first inning. Both teams scored in the first. Here's the 1-1 delivery. A little fly ball, shallow right field, and I don't know whether Bell saw it. He's coming in, and he makes the running catch. And I tell you, the way he was going after that, you didn't know whether he saw it because McCraw kept pointing up in the air. But he made the play after a long run, 1 out. And now Gene Michael. Gene struck out in the second inning, bounced to second in the 5th, fly to center in the 7th. Nobody in the on-deck circle as yet. Now Rowland comes out. But that could be a decoy. As we mentioned, Bean is still throwing down in the bullpen. Here's the pitch to Michael. Foul back, strike 1. Gene has a brand new bat up there this time.
Saw a big supply of bats came in today.
Usually happens. Last day of the road trip they come in. 1 out, nobody on. And Rusty Torres now has moved in the on-deck circle. Outside with a curve, 1-1. No Rusty a switch hitter. Will be batting left-handed against the right-hand throwing Dick Tidrow. Outfield very shallow on Gene Michael. And Gene can bust one over their heads. Outside with another breaking pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Since Cleveland has been playing such outstanding ball here early in the year, the crowds have been a lot livelier at Municipal Stadium. And especially Alex Johnson must really find it great hearing all those cheers. The 2-1 pitch, a foul upstairs and out of play, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and nobody on. Top of the 9th. All tied 1-1. Tidrow having a little trouble with some dirt that caught in his spike shoes. Goes to the rosin bag. Really making the hitters wait in the last 3 innings. Now the 2-2 delivery. Popped it up. Might be playable. Near the Indian dugout, it is playable. McCraw one-hands it backing up. And there are 2 away, and now Rusty Torres will bat. Frank?
This is the 4th time up in a pinch hitting role for Torres. He has gone 2 for 3, including a game-winning double in that doubleheader Sunday afternoon a couple of weeks ago at Yankee Stadium against Minnesota.
He really did rip that one. And he is an exciting ball player with good speed and good power from either side. Swinging the bat with the weighted donut on it. Now outside the batter's box, takes a couple of swings. Steps into the batter's box. And we're ready to go with 2 out in the top of the 9th. A 1-1 ball game. Horace Clarke on deck. They play Torres straight away. And quite a bit deeper than they were playing Gene Michael. The pitch to Rusty. There's a ground ball in the hole. Base hit to right field. McCraw dove for it. We had a wait. He almost came up with that ball. So that makes Rusty now 3 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Not bad. 750 as a pinch hitter, Frank.
Those 3 hits were all in a row, too. He was called out on strikes his first time up this season as a pinch hitter. But since then, he's come through 3 times for manager Ralph House. And that's one thing the Yankees have this year that they did not have last year, Phil. The ability to pinch hit. Yankee pinch hitters hitting around 400. 381 before that base hit. And
all right, now Rusty Torres, a definite threat to steal here. With 2 out in the top of the 9th. Horace Clarke, the batter. Horace is 1 for 3. Flied to center, had an infield hit, walked, and flied to left.
Our mathematical man, Bill Kane, says pinch hitters are now 409.
Beautiful. All right, McCraw holding the bag against Torres. Tidrow goes to the rosin bag. Horace Clarke choking up on the bat. And wide stance at the plate. Throw to first base. Rusty is back. Torres with good speed. I hope he loosened up his legs. He loosened up his swing. There's a throw to first. Rusty back. A little chilly out here in Cleveland. As we told you, very foggy. He makes a quick start. Here's the stretch. He does not go. The pitch is hit in the air to left field. Right there is Alex Johnson. And Alex makes the catch. So they didn't give Rusty a chance to try and steal it. For the Yankees, no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. And at the end of 8.5 innings, still tied. The Yankees won and the Indians won.
Take your marks. Hi, I'm Don Scholander, member of the National Sports Committee for the Breath of Life campaign. Swimming was my game. Matter of fact, still is. I now coach a college team in the West Coast. Young people often ask, how do you win an Olympic gold medal? I tell them hard work, lots of practice, great determination, and for swimmers, good breath control is essential. Most of us take breathing for granted, but there are 5 million children in this country with cystic fibrosis and other lung diseases who find it hard to breathe at all. The Breath of Life campaign now underway is for them. It will provide life-saving treatment and vital research necessary to find a control for these crippling diseases which strike youngsters. You can give these children the promise of a brighter future. Send a contribution to your local cystic fibrosis chapter today. Thank you.
Fred Bean now comes on to pitch for the New York Yankees. Jim Rowland faced just one man, the left-hand hitting Graig Nettles, and got him on a ground ball. Steve Kline went 7 2/3 innings. Allowed 1 run on 5 hits. Walked 1 man. That was an intentional walk, and Kline had 1 strikeout in the game. And now Fred Bean with a record of 0-1 and 1 save. Fred has given up only 3 earned runs in 6 appearances for the Yankees, Phil.
All right, Frank, and Tom McCraw, who is 0 for 3, leads off, left-hand batter. Bean's pitch is line to right center field. Callison digging hard. Can't get it. It's flying to the wall. McCraw's around first. Heading for second. He's around second. They might have a play here. The throw to third offline. He's out. Safe. Holy cow. He started to ball him out, then called him safe. Michael's throw was a little towards left field up the line. McKinney got it lunged at McCraw sliding in, who seems to have inserted his leg. And it looked like the third base umpire, Jim Odom, was going to call him out and then call him safe. And on one pitch, the Indians have the potential winning run at third, and Ralph Houk now will probably walk the next 2 men to load them up, and they'll have to play the infield in. We'll wait and see how Ralph wants to play it. Callison tried to dive for that ball. It got under his glove. Murcer got it in a hurry, gave a good relay to Michael. And Gene, if he had made a perfect throw, would have nailed McCraw easily. Gene threw the ball strongly, but as we said, up the line towards left field from third. So now Ralph talks to Bean and Munson. The batter is Ray Fosse. The infield is in. From the way Clarke is playing, it looks like they're going to give an intentional walk to Fosse. So McCraw took a chance to fade off. This will be an intentional walk to Ray Fosse. There is ball 2. And now ball 3. Here is ball 4, and the next batter is Buddy Bell, and let's see how Ralph Houk wants to do this. Nobody out, runners at first and third. It's a 1-1 ball game, but this is the bottom of the 9th inning.
Looks like they're going to pitch to the rookie.
It certainly does. Nope, they're going to put him on, Frank. Munson has signaled for another intentional walk. The third intentional walk given up by Yankee pitchers tonight. Kline gave up one to Alex Johnson. And those are the only walks in the ball game by Yankee pitchers. That's ball 3. And the next batter is Jack Brohamer. We might have a pinch hitter. We'll wait and see. Now the bases are loaded. Bell at first. Fosse at second. McCraw at third. And the switch hitter, Jack Brohamer, the batter. Now the Yankees have to play the infield in. They cannot go for the double play because the run would score.
And the outfield in also.
Yep, you've got to give away a lot of defense here, but that's the only way to play it in a situation like this. All right, let's see if Fred Bean can come through. Brohamer is 0 for 3, the windup. The pitch is a curve, a little high, ball 1. Fred Bean rubs up the ball. Roy White very shallow and left. The pitch, curve low inside. Scooped out of the dirt. It's ball 2, 2-0. So now Bean has to come in with the pitch. Haven't seen Aspromani manage too much. Don't know whether he advocates that squeeze play or not. We'll wait and see. The 2-0 pitch, low, ball 3. 3-0. And no place to put Brohamer without forcing in a run. 3 balls, no strikes, the windup. The pitch, strike 1, and holy cow, was that close. Brohamer started to walk to first. Third score almost fell out of the box next to us. He was ready to run down to a post-game show. Herb and Bob Neal do the play-by-play of the Indian game. And that was a borderline strike, 3-1. The windup. The pitch. Ball 4, and the ball game is over. And he was not going to walk to first, and they yell for him to walk to first. A walk, a run batted in. McCraw scores. And that's it. The ball game is over. The final score, the Indians 2, the Yankees 1.
And as the fireworks go off from the stands out in front of the scoreboard beyond the center field fence, the totals on the ball game. Cleveland 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. The Yankees 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error. Dick Tidrow gets the win. His record is now 4-2, and that is his first complete game of the year. And Fred Bean is the loser, pitching to 4 men, giving up the triple to McCraw. Callison gambled, dove for the ball, could not come up with it. And McCraw gambling, racing hard, went all the way to third as the throw, as Bill told you, just up the line a bit. Intentional walks to Fosse and Bell, and the unintentional walk to Brohamer to force in the winning run in the ball game. You credit Brohamer, of course, with a run batted in. And that makes a winner out of Tidrow, a loser out of Bean. The other run scored in the game, the Yankees scored first on a home run by Bobby Murcer with 2 outs in the first inning. Bobby hit the first pitch to him into the seats in right field. The Indians got the run right back in the